What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're checking out the 2025 BMW M2. This is the G87. This is a really cool sports car coming in at $75,000 as spec, finished off in the Alpine white. You think this is the coolest way to go as far as a sub $100,000 sports car? Let's go ahead and pop that hood, see what is powering the legendary M2. So underneath the hood, we have the S58 engine, which is a twin turbo inline 6-cylinder 3-liter engine. With the 6-speed manual that this car has today, this pumps out 473 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. If you get the 8-speed automatic, torque bumps up to 443. This car is rear-wheel drive, curb weight's around 3,800 pounds. 0 to 60 is still 4 seconds, and you can do top speed at 177 miles per hour. Also has a smaller 13.7 gallon fuel tank, but you can expect 16 in the city and 23 out on the highway. Now for the styling, it's been a little controversial. It's definitely a chunky looking car, but I think it looks so cool. You have this very wide body appearance where all the fenders are bulging outwards versus where the doors are, and then the front is very squared off. I like how there's really not much trim to it. It's just the body molding and then the grills. So you have these very squared off upper grills, M2 badge, all the gloss black, and then a huge opening for the radiators. You're gonna get parking sensors and then more gloss black throughout these square openings. Nice LED headlights with a dark housing and that bulge on the hood like your typical M car. Personally, I think it looks really cool. I think it looks awesome. Got some smooth lines up above. And then at the side, we have a 6-piston brake caliper finished in the red, and these really fill out these 19-inch wheels. Got a 15-inch rotor. They are drilled as well. Love the multi-spoke design. Parking sensors on the side, sharp body lines throughout the front fender, and from here you can tell how the side skirt bulges outward, leading into those fenders where the doors are more in. So it has a very wide body appearance. I like the body color on the mirror caps with the cool little wing. You got your turn signal, flush mounted door handle, and then all the gloss black trim for the windows. This one's even spec'd with a carbon fiber roof, nice gloss black shark fin antenna. And then at the side profile, it's again a chunky looking car. It's very short and stubby, but really good profile. I like how proportional it looks. Leading our way in the back, the roof line is pretty steep into that nice flat trunk. You can see how wide those rear fenders are. And then we have a nice blacked out design for these taillights. Got your M2 badge, BMW badge, all of your parking sensors, a nice square shape to the rear bumper. Again, it's a very bulky car. And then you have your dual exhaust system with the black tips. Got the massive rear diffuser as well. Honestly, this car is really sweet looking. For the trunk space, you're gonna get a button back here. We can manually open that up. You have a nice amount of space in here. It's pretty squared off. Got a cubby on the left, nice storage on the right side. And then there's gonna be levers up here we can pull, and that's gonna pop the rear seats down. So from there, all you have to do is grab the lever, and the seat is then going to automatically slide forwards to get out of the way. And then for the seat backs, we just pull them and they're gonna fold nice and flat. You will have to move the seats up a little bit to always get them up, but nonetheless, you have a huge opening into the trunk to make this a pretty practical, smaller sports car. Huge opening, as you can tell. And then making my way to the interior, we'll check out the back seats first. This can seat 2 people back here. The center is just kind of storage, and then we can even independently pop this down for more storage into the back and even an armrest. Now at 5'11", sitting here, it's not too bad. There are air vents, which is a nice touch. And then when I pull this seat back, it's gonna automatically slide, and the headrest will even automatically go upwards. So pretty good design for a small car. My knees, you know, they still fit around it. I'm a little cramped. Headroom's a little limited. I'm touching the ceiling a little bit, but you know, not too bad for adults. Car seats might fit. Rear facing might be a challenge. I'll have to see on that. But nonetheless, this is a pretty useful, smaller compact car. Climbing out now. Not too bad. So this has just the standard black interior with all the blue accents. Door panels finished off in the black. You have some soft touch plastic padding on the armrest. Your M colors, memory seating, lock and unlock, all of your controls of course. M logo down below, and then of course power seats. You're gonna get a manual leg rest, and then you can even adjust the bolsters. And then I like this style. They're really cool looking overall with nice stitching all throughout it. Hopping inside now, foot on the clutch, let's fire it up. So for 2025, we have this sweet looking flat bottom steering wheel wrapped in leather. You have the M colors as well. And then of course, to adjust the climate, we got to go to the screen. This one has the full carbon fiber interior, so really nice throughout the steering wheel. Unit controls on the right for some Bluetooth audio. We have cruise control on the left. You can also configure the screen a little bit. You can see different items of content throughout the center by just scrolling upwards. So you have a lot of good information. You can then scroll to the right and adjust your heads-up display. You may or may not be able to see that on camera. Now for the gauge cluster, you have the tach and speedometer, nav in the center. When I go to M mode, you can now go into sport and get a pretty cool design as well. So pretty neat. And then on the steering wheel, we also have our M1 and M2 that will quickly go into different drive modes. And then we have the stock on the right side for your windshield wipers, turn signals on the left, nice leather on it, and then the M. You're gonna get headlight controls on the left with one of your air vents, heads-up display, and then this massive curved display. Now with the carbon fiber, very nicely integrated. I love how the air vents are all integrated too. And then on the screen, the one downfall is you have to hit that fan icon to get to this menu to adjust your fan speed. However, temperature is always readily available. We're gonna see our home icon where you have all sorts of different tiles, very similar to what you would expect on every single modern BMW. All this information you can play with. And then we have shortcuts as well to audio. We have full screen navigation, phone, different apps as well. Going into reverse, you have a small backup camera with all of your parking sensors. And then volume down below, you have carbon fiber, and we can open that up for cup holders and storage. More carbon throughout the center. We have our active exhaust valve, we have the setup icon, a couple more, and then we have a nice rotary dial for the whole screen. So you don't always have to use touchscreen. It does make it a little bit more easy to gain access to everything. You're gonna get more of the black with blue stitching, storage down below, and a nice size glove box. One last look at the interior. Very similar to your modern BMW, but definitely a sporty touch with the colors, flat bottom, of course that 6-speed. It's a sweet place to be, definitely can't complain. Simple headliner due to the carbon roof. Then we have garage door buttons underneath your mirror. All right, so setting off now in the M2. So this is definitely a fun car. I love the 2025 updates, especially with the steering wheel, and the manual is a heck of a lot of fun to cruise through the gears with. Overall, driving this car, if I tone it down into just the standard drive mode, it's pretty comfortable. The steering is really lazy, the suspension's comfortable, the seats are comfortable. It's a pretty nice car to just get your bearings with and just get used to driving. Visibility is really good. You can tell it's a short car, so it's just easy to maneuver, easy to see around. One drawback, of course, is having to tap that every time to change your fan speed, but you kind of get used to it. Screen itself, there's a lot of information in it, but you kind of have what you need at your disposal, and especially when you play with the two different designs, I mean, that is pretty cool. And when you go into the M2, everything tightens up. You can adjust a lot within this car, and the exhaust sounds pretty good when you're doing that. You gotta get some of those gurgles and pops. Now the manual, it's not the most notchy transmission out there. However, it's still pretty forgiving. It's nice to drive. The 8-speed automatic is a really cool choice too. Now we've had these on the mountain, so if you want to see more aggressive driving, search our channel, you'll see that. But these things handle really good. Even though it weighs a bit much for an M2, it weighs a lot more than the old one. I mean, it still is super nimble and darty. The suspension and brakes really pack what you would want in an M car. Honestly, this is one of the most fun cars, I'd say, out there. For 75 grand, this one's pretty nicely equipped with some expensive goodies. But honestly, it is a blast to just drive around town and use. It could be a fantastic daily driver, but also a really good overall sports car. So I think you can kind of do everything with an M2, regardless if you're only doing the performance stuff or if you're doing the day-to-day driving. It's not crazy backbreaking. We get some comments about, is this too aggressive around town? I'm still in the M2 mode right now on these bumps, and it's just not a big deal. So this is a car you can absolutely daily drive. One interesting ergonomics, I'm 5'11", I have to kind of sit pretty close to the steering wheel so I can do the clutch all the way. I'm extending my leg all the way to do the clutch. However, when I'm just driving normal, my knees are actually a little bent. So it kind of feels a little short down here for the, for my height, I guess, which is a little interesting. I've been in a couple of the manuals. It's been a while though. But if you have really long legs, this might be a little bit of a tight car to get used to. That is just the one ergonomic thing I am finding with the M2. But overall, I guess once you get used to the seating position like that with these seats, I mean, it's fun to drive. You can do anything with it. And it's a refined vehicle at the end of the day. And that's a cool touch with this BMW. You get the nice ergonomics. You also get the luxuries. You know, it's an expensive car and it feels like that. It feels like a really nice place to be. Camera sensors all work really well. Turning circles pretty sharp. Although I don't want to risk curbing the wheels, so I'll just do an extra bit. But overall, this thing is cool to drive in. Definitely a great, well-rounded car with a lot to offer.